Hello, everyone. I just wanted to make some announcements about some content that I'm planning on uploading. So, I have a lot of trouble sleeping, and at some point, I started listening to ASMR bedtime stories. I just have it on my phone playing in the background while I am trying to fall asleep. And I found it pretty helpful. And I have been told multiple times by people that have a very soothing voice. So I had the idea to try my own hand at making that kind of content. Recently, I've been listening to audiobooks again, and that made me want to record my own audiobooks as well. So, I don't know how consistent I'm going to be about this because, like with everything, I'm very inconsistent with uploading any kind of content. And this first audiobook took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take me, but I am planning on doing some ASMR bedtime stories as well as regular audiobooks. In fact, what I plan on doing is doing two different versions of each story, or at least for some of them. So the first one that I have already recorded is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And that's a pretty short story, which works really well for the ASMR bedtime story genre because you want to have a couple hours of story and then the rest just be like background ambience, because if you make the story the whole 8 hours, the listener is going to miss out on most of the story, and to listen to the whole thing they're going to have to keep finding where they left off before they fell asleep. So in a case like that, it would make sense to do both versions, one for falling asleep to and one as a regular audiobook. But you might be wondering, why would you need to make two different versions? Couldn't you just use the same audio for both things? And the difference is, when I'm doing an ASMR bedtime story, I'm whispering very closely into the mic. And what I plan to do for the regular audiobook version is speak normally, and if I need to get loud with the voices, then I have the freedom to do so, where I can't do that with the ASMR versions because I don't want to wake people up by yelling if the character is yelling in the story. So I have already recorded the ASMR version of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I could either do the sequel through the looking glass and what Alice found there, also ASMR, or I could do the audiobook version of the same story that I just did. That I still have yet to decide, but I also kind of have a question for anybody who might be watching this video, which is something that I considered is, I'm not a professional voice actor, so I'm not very good at doing voices. So something that I considered is using an AI voice changer to change my voice into whatever character's voice I need, and to do a whole audiobook of, I think the term is a full cast audiobook, where they have a whole cast of voice actors doing different voices for different characters, except it'd be just one person using AI to simulate a full cast. I'm wondering if there would be people interested in hearing that. I know that there are some people who are against content made with AI. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think it depends on how you're using AI. If you're letting AI make content for you without you having any input, and it's kind of just like slop or like misinformation, then yeah, that's a very bad way to use AI. But if you use it as a tool to assist you in making content that previously you would not be able to if you didn't have the AI, then I think that's fine. And I would be okay with listening to an audiobook made by someone who used AI for the different voices, because that is a lot better than having an AI just read the book. You're still going to have the human performance, it's just you're changing the voice. But of course, what I might end up doing is actually doing, for the audiobook, both of those. I might do one version where I put on a voice as best as I can, and then take that audio and run the dialogue through a voice changer, and then change the voice that I was putting on to a separate voice. And then once I have both of those, then I guess people can decide which one they actually want to listen to, or maybe I'll just decide on my own which one I like better. It also, of course, depends on how much work I am willing to put in and how much time I have to work on it. Doing the AI route would take so much longer, because I have to find the model for each voice for each character that I want to use, and then I have to export the dialogue for just that one character and then put it into the voice changer, and then have to put that back into my DAW project. So yeah, pros and cons to each version. I guess I'm just going to have to kind of tinker with all the different aspects of it and see which one I like better, as well as what feedback I get from people who listen to it. Hopefully people do listen to it. I feel like with the ASMR, it's such a more practical form of content, because it serves a practical purpose of helping people fall asleep, which a lot of people need. So yeah, I hope that the following stories that I record will help people out, and that it gets a positive reaction. And I'm really looking forward to feedback. And yeah, I guess that's it. So see you next time. Peace.